For those of you who are trying to heal from chronic illness naturally but have been too scared and overwhelmed to jump on the enema train, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to break down the benefits of enemas on gut health and how they can work to improve your symptoms over time. I'm going to go over some questions on safety because I get questions all the time like, are enemas safe? Should you really be putting coffee up your ass? We'll touch on that later. And I'm going to give you the basic steps so that you can go into this process with a little bit more confidence and less overwhelm and confusion. If you're new here, my name is Selena. I make content on gut health for those of you who are trying to heal from chronic symptoms naturally. I've been on my own holistic healing journey for around 7 years now, healing from parasites, IBS, heavy metal toxicity, post-concussive syndrome, and a whole lot more that we won't get into in this video. My goal is to mitigate the overwhelm and confusion and really give you the right education so that you can have clarity and peace as you're healing your gut and ultimately resolving your symptoms. My enema videos have actually been some of the most popular videos on my channel, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the internet just is not talking about this topic, but people are really curious. So I'm going to start by giving you a list of benefits of enemas in general. Some of these are going to be on specific types of enemas, but you can get a little bit more pumped about this process instead of like disgusted and overwhelmed. Okay, so number one, the first and biggest benefit of enemas is really that you're clearing your colon out. If you don't understand colon anatomy, I'm going to kind of break it down for you, but it is really common for basically fecal matter to not all fully make it out on its way out and cause what's known as compacted fecal matter. This is actually pretty common, but essentially your body does a whole lot of work to get rid of toxins. That's what's happening, is you're eliminating waste when you make a bowel movement. And if you don't actually get all of it out, or some of it is left over in your colon, then you will actually be reabsorbing the toxins that your body worked so hard to try to get rid of. And what can come with that is a host of symptoms. So really the first biggest benefit is that by clearing out your colon, you're actually going to be mitigating some of these symptoms of toxicity reabsorption. Another benefit is that it's going to be really supportive of constipation. The reality is we should be actually going to the bathroom at least once a day. Most people think that it's just normal to go every other day, 2, 3, 4 times a day. It is completely not normal. You actually really need to be going every single day. So for any sort of constipation, this can be really supportive. This would actually be way better than other forms of constipation relief like Miralax and suppositories and those fleet enemas, because all of those, for one, the ingredients are not super clean a lot of the times, but all of those can be quite abrasive and often too strong for people. It can actually lead to more symptoms and a host of different side effects that Additionally, clearing out your colon actually makes it less of a breeding ground for pathogens. If you are clearing out your colon, you don't have any of that compacted fecal matter along the sides of your digestive tract, then you are not leaving tons of space for parasites, yeast, pathogens to just kind of sit there and grow and fester. I'm going to touch on parasites a little bit more later. Additionally, coffee enemas in particular can be a really good liver detox, and I know it's kind of a weird thing to think about, but the coffee actually stimulates your liver to detox and almost like hiccup toxins. So in a sense, the caffeine's actually stimulating the liver and the bile ducts, and it actually is a way to pass a lot of different things, gallstones, liver flukes, and just all sorts of toxicity that might be burdening your liver's function. And as we know, the liver is the toxin filter of the body, and so if it's congested in any way, you're going to really benefit from having it kind of cleared out on a regular basis using something like a coffee enema. Other enemas like meat stock enema could do the same thing that ingesting meat stock can do, which is repair the intestinal lining. Probiotic enemas can actually start to strengthen the gut bacteria in the colon. And personally, the biggest differences that I've noticed have been just decrease in overall fatigue and brain fog. And again, this goes back to that toxicity idea, is because decreasing your toxic load, unburdening the liver from maybe congestion, the symptoms that are associated with that you may not even realize are actually going to decrease. And I found this to be a really effective way to do that. There are honestly so many more benefits to enemas that I haven't mentioned, but if you have experienced any sort of benefit from doing an enema, maybe you're a seasoned enema expert, drop a comment below. Let us know what you found to be a benefit of doing enemas. I would love for you guys to kind of like share and inspire each other down there. But before we jump into the question on safety, I do just want to mention that I have a free quick guide to gut health linked in the description box below if you're interested in taking a deep dive into gut health and gut healing, because enemas are just a part of the overall picture when it comes to your health, and you're really going to kind of get a holistic perspective if you address it from multiple angles. That guide will help you to do that. Okay, so questions about safety. I do want to just touch on the idea of water quality. There are some people, some horror stories of enemas out there that have made people throw enemas out entirely, which I think is common, but not correct. And a lot of these kind of stem from the idea of water quality and ultimately temperature of the water. So let's start with water quality. Your water should definitely be highly filtered. So you don't want to be putting any type of chemicals, any type of contaminated water up into your colon, because that obviously would give you a risk of pathogenic infection and kind of eliminate the point of the enema in general, because you want to make sure that the water you're using is pure so you're not absorbing crap as you're trying to get rid of crap. That would be counterproductive. So making sure you have a really good water filter. And then water temperature. I'm going to touch on this later, but you do not want the enema to be too hot. And people have had kind of wild experiences doing enemas getting burned because they're putting boiling hot water up their colon. So are they safe? This is kind of a common question. And honestly, I really believe, like I said, they are 10 times safer than the Miralax, the prescription laxatives, suppositories, the fleet enemas. I think they're so much safer because you are controlling the ingredient. You're making it homemade. It's like going to the grocery store and buying something versus making it at home. What you make at home is going to be so much better. And also, you have to remember that what we're doing here is a very natural process. We're not putting chemicals into our body to make our body do an abnormal thing. We are cleansing the colon using completely natural ingredients, using a method that's been around for centuries. So there are horror stories, like I mentioned. The biggest ones are really around the temperature of the water. So ultimately, I really think that it is a very safe option to detox your body. And if you aren't convinced by me, I would encourage you to go do some research on how enemas have benefited people, particularly people who are recovering from really long-term chronic illness or even cancer. The Gerson Institute has a great website that talks all about how to do enemas for just supporting natural detox processes so that you don't get to extreme places in your health. Okay, so I'm about to jump into the basic how-to, but I want to just mention here that I do have a whole video going through how to do a water enema, coffee enema, and then even replenishing after an enema. So I would encourage you to check those out because those are so much more in depth, and I really kind of hold your hand through the process. I give you some like video footage of, obviously not in-depth video footage, but like I give you some video footage of what my setup looks like and what the process of setting up your bathroom might look like, boiling the enema, all the different steps. So check those out if you're interested in that. The links will be in the description. But right now I'm going to give you an overview of a basic water enema. This is not going to be a coffee enema. So again, I have a video on that, but it's going to be a basic water enema kind of tutorial. I'm going to take you through the steps and mention the things that I think are the most important to kind of give you confidence in this process. Okay, step one is going to be to gather ingredients. You're going to want to get all the supplies that you need. You're going to need an enema kit. You're going to need the baking soda, the mineral salt, the high quality water, any kind of lubricant you want to use on the nozzle, and obviously like a towel and a bathroom. So I will leave all the supplies linked in the description box below so that you can purchase them really easily. They're also on my Amazon store and they'll be in their own kind of section so that you can find them quickly. So step two is going to be to prepare the enema, and you're going to again want to make sure that you're getting filtered water. If you don't have access to that at your home, I would recommend buying it. There really is no messing around with it. I don't trust tap water. I would not like just do what you can for this type of thing. It is going into your colon, and so I want to make sure that it is clean and safe. You can just get some spring water from a store that'll be pre-filtered, and then I would boil it. This is just to make sure that there's any kind of pathogens that are left over at all, that you are kind of killing them off. Then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You want to make sure it's aluminum-free baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So it'll be a high quality mineral salt, not table salt. And you're going to add those into the hot boiled water enema. Step number 3 is going to be to let it cool, and you're going to want to make sure that you let it cool so that your pinky can sit in the water for 10 seconds as it's being stirred. If your pinky can't stay in there for 10 seconds because it's burning it, then it will burn your colon. I will say I've come really close to this line. So holding it in there for 10 seconds, if it passes that test, then you're good to go to the next step. Number 4 is going to be to set up the station. So you might need a towel, and obviously something that you can hook the enema bag or enema bucket onto that's higher up than where you're going to be lying down, because that's how the enema works. It's going to work with gravity. I like to use my tub for this and then just hook it over the shower curtain rod. And then you'll also want to lubricate the nozzle. This is like what a nozzle looks like, and you're going to just want to lubricate that with some coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, whatever you want to do. Step number 6 is going to be putting the enema in. So you're going to insert the nozzle, and then you're going to flip the switch on your enema kit. All of them are going to look different. Mine looks like this. You're just going to flip it, and then that's going to allow the water to enter into your colon, and you'll just lay either on your side or on your back. I kind of prefer lying on my back to do this, but a lot of people say lying on their right side is a little bit easier because of how your colon works. You do what works for you and what's comfortable. Step number 7 is just that you're gonna hold it for 15 minutes. And I know that some people will do way longer than this, but personally I found that this is kind of a good sweet spot. And if for some reason you can't hold it, it is totally okay to release the enema when you need to. But my goal here is to kind of make it to 15 minutes if I'm comfortable. So you'll always wanna listen to your body, but that's kind of like the benchmark that I use. Number 8 is going to be then to just release the enema into the toilet, either when you're too uncomfortable to bear or when you've hit that 15-minute mark. And I just want to mention here that if it doesn't come out, so if you're sitting there and you're on the toilet and nothing is coming out, most likely it means that you are too dehydrated. So if you're dehydrated, your body will actually absorb the water because it needs it, and you won't really have anything to come out. You may not feel the best after an enema like that. I know that the times that's happened to me, I don't usually feel like cleansed. Honestly, I usually feel a little like swirly, which may be the toxins just kind of like circulating. What I'll do after that is I'll just do another one, but make sure that I'm hydrated that time. And sometimes I'll add a little bit more salt to that. Okay, so then once you're done, you are gonna wanna clean up. I will clean my enema kit just with water once. So I'm gonna run water through it, let the water kind of go through the whole kit and the tube, and then I will run some hydrogen peroxide through the whole thing to disinfect it. And I like to kind of clean the nozzle separately, just with soap and water, and then some hydrogen peroxide as well. Enemas are probably my favorite way to detox, you guys. I ended up doing them every single day for a year because I just felt so good doing them, and they really helped me to resolve some digestive dysfunction and some overall toxicity that I think was contributing to a lot of my symptoms. Send this video to someone who may be scared to try an enema, but maybe they need it. Maybe you think that it could really help them in resolving some of their symptoms. Let me know in the comments if you end up trying it, if you have success. As always, please subscribe to my channel. I make new videos like this every single week. I am passionate about supporting people in their gut health healing journey so that they can see their symptoms go away. Thanks for watching.